Cyber Uncut. Discover the changing face of business, government and national security as Australia navigates the cyber revolution.
G'day everyone, welcome back to the Cyber Uncut podcast. My name is Daniel Croft, I am a journalist at Cyber Daily and I am joined by my colleague...
Dead air. David Hollingworth.
There you go, you've been caught out.
No, I did that on purpose. That was
purely
informative.
Intentional.
Yeah.
Have you
Entertainment purposes only.
Yeah, how have you been going?
Really good. Really busy.
Yep.
Really good. Actually, when I say really good, I mean really good except for the weekend. We had a lunch and learn last week for Are You OK Day. And as you and I discussed, neither of us are fond of that day.
No, not for the horrible reasons you might think. It might sound horrible that we don't like Are You OK Day.
Oh, God. Wow, you're right. No, it's just that... Speaking personally, as somebody who struggles with mental health issues, this one day every year where your colleagues are like, "Are you okay?" It's
turns into a bit of a joke. It's in jest.
But yeah, so we had a lunch and learn
shallow.
where one of our colleagues talked about their mental health journey. It was actually quite lovely. But I think the food gave me food poisoning.
That
I spent an uncomfortable weekend after learning and lunching. Yeah. That could be overshare, but you asked how it was and how the week has been.
Yeah.
And there you go. That's the week.
Wow. My weekend was much better. I was sick on Saturday morning for a different reason because I had a big night Friday night. I'm preparing a new group with a close friend of mine, and we went out to scout for openings. A new band, yes. That's what I just say group. I assume everyone knows the lingo. There you go.
What kind of group? Is it some kind of assassination group?
Yeah, no.
Is it a cybercrime group?
No. We are holding instruments. And we are
Instruments of destruction? I've got nothing.
I can't get out of this. No, so we're organising a new musical project. Mm-hmm. We plan on doing a big launch of it at the beginning of next year.
News to be announced in future.
Yeah, exactly. It's all hush-hush, so shh.
Okay, no, we won't tell anyone. No one but us and the listeners will know.
Exactly.
All dozen of them, I don't know.
So, otherwise, very, very good weekend. Went out for drinks for my partner's old work. They were doing like a little drinks event, so we went to that on Sunday. Had a really, really casual time, and it was quite lovely. Actually,
sounds good. Sounds really good. Sounds way better than my weekend.
Yeah, it does. I'm not going to sugarcoat that.
Yeah.
So let's get into AI.
Absolutely.
We
love AI.
Well, it's how we always start. You got to start strong.
Yeah.
UNSW has done a kind of first of its kind deal here, I suppose.
Well, it's the largest deal that has been made in Australia to date with OpenAI. They are rolling out
UNSW. This is, by the way. Yes.
This is UNSW.
Yeah. I don't think it was mentioned.
Oh, I thought you did.
No.
Cool. Right.
UNSW.
Yes, thank you. UNSW is rolling out 10,000 licenses of ChatGPT EDU or edu for its staff, students, researchers. This is massive.
Yeah.
And the reason they're getting behind ChatGPT edu is this particular version of the platform is all about protecting intellectual property. So as a researcher, you can put your research into it, and it's not going into the larger hive mind of the ChatGPT LLM.
I believe it's called, I could be wrong on this, federated learning or something like that.
Where
the model can learn within its own kind of environment without spreading to other instances and stuff.
You're effectively firewalling the LLM, so it's just its own little environment. It's not spreading elsewhere. Yeah, and that's really important for the kind of research that tertiary institutions like UNSW are doing. We both have issues, interesting issues, complex issues with AI.
We do.
Models like ChatGPT, but they seem to be doing it well. They seem to be being very smart about it.
And that's what it is. We've mentioned this a bunch of times. Implementation and the way you use the technology is entirely about... That entirely shapes how ethical and productive and things like that are.
Yeah.
So, I've got no issue with the rollout that UNSW does.
So this is what Professor Attila Brungs... You know, I wrote this article, and I didn't even notice that the person is called Attila Brungs. That's amazing.
Brilliant.
Apologies to Professor Attila. This agreement follows our successful trials and will give our UNSW community access to secure, practical tools that can support their work whilst ensuring they can be used responsibly and in line with our values. As we introduce these technologies, our focus is on helping staff explore how AI can add value in teaching, research, and operations while maintaining the high standards of ethics, privacy, and academic integrity. I mean, on the face of it, sounds great.
Yeah.
I do wonder what, if any, like groundswell backlash there might be on campus about.
I'm sure there will be.
Yeah.
I am absolutely sure there will be. I think.
But they've had a 10-month trial with 800 staff, so they've done the due diligence.
Yeah.
They seem to think it'll work. So I say bravo.
And by the sounds of things, they are really trying to keep it regulated by their ethics and values as a learning institution, which I think is really, really important.
The other thing I really like is they're aware of the environmental costs. So they are purchasing carbon offsets to assist with that.
Beautiful.
And that's a big priority. So in terms of, we want to make sure it's secure, we want to make sure it's safe, we want to make sure that you can put intellectual property into it and it's looked after, and look after the planet at the same time. Yeah, it's not the worst AI rollout I've heard of.
And we obviously, there's a pretty low bar of AI rollouts that we've at least spoken about on this podcast of late.
Yeah.
So, credit where credit's due, honestly. I'm excited to see AI done well.
10,000 licenses. I mean, that's not insignificant.
No, and it's not cheap. But
no.
And especially, with the thing they're doing to mitigate environmental impact.
Yeah.
It genuinely sounds like this is what they're doing this for the benefit of education. That there is no, we're doing this to make more money.
It doesn't appear to be tied up with staff cuts or anything like that. It's purely as a force multiplier for the big brains at UNSW.
Love it. I love that.
Yeah.
Moving on in AI in education, the South Australian government has announced that it's going to be rolling out EdChat, which is an AI chatbot. I believe it's being rolled out in senior schools. So
we're moving from tertiary to secondary education.
Yes.
All public high schools in South Australia from the next term will have EdChat. So I'll just tell you what Blair Boyer, the State Minister for Education, Training and Skills, said. AI will be a part of our work and lives in the future, which means we have a responsibility to educate young people and our staff about its appropriate and effective use. So right there, I like the fact that it's there as AI is here, whether we like it or not.
Yep.
So let's make sure that the people who are going to be using it know how to use it well.
I mean, these are the generations that are going into a workforce that is very, very, very much integrated with AI.
Yeah.
So having an understanding of how to use it from a young age makes sense.
Yeah, and the next bit of the quote is kind of neither here nor there. We'd be doing a disservice to our students otherwise, given AI is now part of people's lives. Thumbs up.
Yeah.
This is why we work with Microsoft. To develop a safe version for use in schools that teaches them how to use AI responsibly and effectively. I want to point out that this is the company which keeps forcing Copilot AI on all of its users. And that is just, I'm just saying it, it's a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
So, it's good, it's bad. Yeah.
It sounds like good intentions.
I would say the intentions are there. And as I said, AI's out now. Like, that genie's out of the bottle. People are going to need to know how to use this. My partner's been out of the workforce for 18 months, and one of the biggest challenges she's facing is knowing that all of her workloads, given what she does, she works in IT as well, is going to be suddenly AI focused.
Yeah.
So, and that's someone who is a professional in her field. So kids obviously need to have these skills.
Yeah, and people like Sam Altman have talked about entire job categories changing because of AI.
Yeah.
Right, that's true. So if people want to go into a certain field, they're going to need to know how to incorporate AI in that properly, because that's how the workflows are going to be.
Yeah.
So learning how to use prompts if it's a chatbot, which this is, and how to use the AI in an efficient way, something that people like us who are in the workforce now are still learning to do ourselves.
Yeah.
Having that kind of understanding from a young age, I think, is really, really good, because that's the reality of the future.
Yeah. It's like teaching basic computer skills.
Yeah.
AI is now a basic computer skill.
Yeah. I'm sure if people go and do elective IT and stuff like that, they might get into more details of how AI works.
Yeah.
I think it absolutely deserves a place in the curriculum.
I think the words of so the principal of Adelaide Botanic High School was part of the trial run. This is Sarah Chambers, and she said, "We work with our students to use EdChat, not to take shortcuts, but to challenge themselves, ask better questions, and develop their own voice and creativity."
Yeah.
And that tells me that, I hope, and this is me being very positive here.
Yeah, sure.
That in all these conversations, there will be a human in the loop. There'll be a teacher going, "Well, why do you think the AI gave you that answer?" and it's almost turning young people into a prompt engineer.
Yeah. Which I think a lot of jobs will be prompt engineer based.
Using
in the future.
EdChat, they reflect, collaborate, and think critically, so they're not just learning content, they're learning how to learn. I think that might be gilding the lily a little bit.
Yeah, I do. And like my dad used to always say that you go to school and learn subjects that you never use in your life because you are learning how to learn. That is the language that he used.
Yeah.
And that is all involved in critical thinking. So the specific language used there is very good to hear.
Yeah, it's a good
You know,
point. That's a really, really good point.
And understand, because we've seen reports that, students using AI in schools or for assignments or whatever, the part of their brain that's responsible for critical thinking is not developing properly.
Engaged at all. Yeah.
And so shifting the learning focus to use AI to make sure critical thinking kind of exercises are engaged, I think is really, really significant.
Yeah.
So if that is true, if that is how it is going to be rolled out, I'm sure.
They're educators. I want to take them on face value.
Me too. Yeah.
But one really powerful thing I think, which is really here, is the teachers and staff are using it to assist in lesson planning and to reduce administrative workloads. Now, we all know that teachers are overworked. They have too much on their plate.
Yes.
If anything can cut through that and let them do what they're meant to do, sit down with a student and teach, I'm all for it. Unequivocally all for it.
If you can maximize time spent with a teacher face to face with a student, I think that's brilliant. If you can nominate the AI to do your repetitive basic tasks, which is what the technology should be used for, great.
No, that is absolutely the perfect use case for AI to assist a human do their job better.
We may have done our positive news at the beginning of this.
I think we did.
I think we may have.
Alarmingly positive. We were at the pub for lunch, so maybe that left us in a better mood.
Speaking of positive news,
this is all yours.
Go
for it.
The Australian AI Awards, the finalists for 2025 have been unveiled.
Pop's little thing goes.
Yeah, so the Australian AI Awards, that's taking place on the 5th of November this year, and we are going to be celebrating the achievements of our AI workforce.
And best uses of AI in other
Absolutely,
workforces.
yes.
Like this is everything AI in Australia. We're very proud of this. This is. God, I'm asking a question about awards we run. This is our second AI Awards, right?
It is our second AI Awards. We've done 3 Cyber Awards.
And this is
our second AI Awards. We had our first one last year.
Yeah.
So this year we had...
It was a big night. It was a great night.
It was a really great night. So we had 249 finalists from 463 submissions this year. This year, yeah.
Whoa.
So, November 5th, yes.
Go to our website. In fact, go to any of Momentum Media's websites, because AI, this is what fascinates me about AI, is every brand at Momentum is covering AI.
Absolutely.
The lawyers, AI.
Of course.
Human resources, all over AI.
Real estate,
AI. Investment. Finance, AI. Defense, a ton of AI.
Yeah. Cyber, obviously.
Who knows? Exactly. Yeah.
So we've got 10 individual categories, 23 group categories. If you know someone who's been nominated as a finalist, go and support them.
Absolutely.
Show up.
Yeah.
They're always a really, really fun night. I really enjoy the awards.
One of the things I love about Momentum is we put on a really good awards night.
We do.
And I don't say that in terms of trying to basically suck up to my own company, but they put on good booze and good food, and that makes me happy.
Yeah. So, come on down, enjoy. Head to the website. You can get tickets there.
Yeah.
And we'll have a great time. We'll be there.
We will.
So if you want to come say g'day, please do.
If you hate our articles, don't tell us. We don't want to hear that.
In that case, just give us a wave. We'll know.
Just give us a wave, yeah.
All right. Well, we might head for a short break, and after that, we're going to get into cybersecurity news, the meat and potatoes of what we do. All right. We'll see you then. And welcome back to the Cyber Uncut podcast. I made a
don't even go there. Don't even go there. Like,
anyway,
maybe at the end of the year we'll release the blooper tape.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. All right. So we have a new ransomware operation.
We do,
called The Gentleman.
The Gentleman.
I kind of love it.
It is. What I love, and I got to get this out of the way up front. So these every ransomware operator wants to brand themselves, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm sure a lot of our listeners don't hang out in the dark web as much as we do. Maybe they do. I don't know. We were talking to a lot of people who are cyber nerds like us who love following threat intelligence. But if you're not, these guys, they will come up with logos and brands and sometimes mottos. They'll have an about page. They'll have a media page. It's
sometimes
wild.
the website design gets in the way of its interoperability.
God.
What's the group?
Akira.
Yeah, there we go.
talked about these guys last week.
Yeah, we
but
did.
No, so the gentleman, their logo is this dapper gentleman with a waxed mustache in a top hat, in a tuxedo, and it's like, oh yeah, that's the gentleman.
Yep.
Of course, they're just goddamn criminals.
Yeah.
But anyway, so they lurched onto the cybercrime scene. Gosh, when was it?
9th of September, I think
9th
you
of
wrote.
September. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's right. However, they did it in style. 32 victims.
Yeah, that's huge.
32 victims in their
is huge.
first day of public operation. Let's see. The Shifa Hospital in Oman, a financial research firm in Sweden, a victim in Morocco, a company in India. These guys are clearly going after, well, you would think they're going after the lowest hanging fruit.
Sure.
Because it's so random, it's all over the place.
Yeah.
However, their thing is they are probably one of the smartest and cleverest groups I've seen in recent years.
Well, they're the gentlemen. They're sophisticated.
Yeah. So Trend Micro actually picked up on these guys before we did. We picked them up when and our open source intelligence feeds noticed the posts on their site. Trend Micro was noticing their operations when it was happening. So they were following the hacks as they happened.
Okay.
So I'm just going to, again, fall back to a quote here because Trend Micro know what they're talking about.
Absolutely.
This threat actor quickly established themselves within the threat landscape by demonstrating advanced capabilities through their systemic compromise of enterprise environments. By adapting their tools mid-campaign, shifting from generic anti-AV utilities to highly targeted specific variants, the attackers demonstrate versatility and determination, posing a significant threat to organizations regardless of their security defenses. What they do is they get onto a network. Trend isn't sure
Exactly
how their
how,
initial
yeah.
network access is. Once they're on, they use compromised drivers to get access to the kernel and then turn off AV defenses. Just like that. I'm clicking my fingers for those who can't work out what's happening. And anything they can't do, they pause, they take their time, they retool and go back into the environment with targeted versions to take down what they couldn't take down initially. Again, they take their time. They recon, they enumerate, they escalate privileges. They take their time.
That's pretty incredible. We often talk about ransomware groups actually not being very sophisticated. There'll be some sort of really basic initial access.
Yeah.
And then they take what they can grab.
Yeah.
They encrypt what they can and they get out.
Yeah.
This isn't that at all. This is very thought out. This is very bank heisty almost.
You know what? That's a really good way to put it.
Yeah.
And I wonder if their name, the fact they call themselves the Gentlemen, is a reflection of the fact that, oh no, we're not like those smash and grab guys.
No,
We're
yeah.
far better. I've been hanging out with Jake way too much. But yeah, they seem dangerous.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. They are capable of terminating services that might assist in forensic analysis and recovery. They can neutralize Windows Defender. They can rewrite firewall rules so they can get back into your network during negotiations. Yeah. If I sound terrified, I kind of am. These guys are,
The thing is, I've actually not seen a lot of reporting on them either. You know?
Like I said, they're new. And this is something I want to try and do more because the rate of new ransomware groups emerging is accelerating. I'm sure you've seen this as well.
We've seen a number just last month. I think we reported on more, like 2 or 3 last month.
And I think it's worth trying to, even if they're not targeting Australians, because eventually they will.
They will, yeah.
Trying to find whatever information we can, do a write-up like we've done on these guys, just to let network defenders know, hey, there's a new kid on the block and they're dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, so watch out for these guys. Read our article, but more important than that, go to Trend Micro's blog, because Trend Micro also have all the indicators of compromise, all the tech stuff that doesn't really fit into the articles we write. And you can find those links into the article that we did on the Gentleman. But watch out for these guys. These guys seem technically proficient.
Well, speaking of our less sophisticated or, more, standard ransomware organization.
Yeah.
Kairos. Kairos ransomware.
This is one you covered, but also like we this is one of those instances where you and I work together so well.
Yeah, I do love that. It's like, all right, all hands on deck.
It was great. Yeah.
DEFCON 1, let's go in.
Yeah.
So there's a business called the Property Business Australia. It's a real estate firm. They work with some pretty, high-end clients. And they were listed on Kairos' website overnight last night. So the 16th of September is when they listed it. It was 17th for us early
It happened
morning.
this week. It happened this week.
This week. Yep. Not going to get too specific. So they claimed a breach in this Australian real estate firm. Didn't say much. I don't think they usually do. But
they've let the data talk for itself.
yeah, they posted a pretty damning sample. There was business documents including a salary increase, a tenancy agreement, a partial credit card scan with some things censored,
Passport scans.
licenses, which we noticed were both of clients,
And employees.
and
Yeah,
employees. So I gave them a call, the property business. They declined comment, which is perfectly fine. That's perfectly within their right.
Yep.
So in a week, we'll see if this data comes out. Now, I will note the Property Business Australia, they say they work in corporate and executive rentals. They work alongside exclusive corporate clients, including relocation agencies, human resource departments, apartment services, government agencies, and the consular industry.
Yeah, so this is what caught our eye when we came across this one is the blast radius for this one could be huge.
Yeah, it could.
And perhaps this is why the company was no comment, because they're trying to understand the blast radius themselves.
Yeah.
Really interesting point I noticed is one of the documents that these criminals, let's be honest, these guys are criminals.
Yeah, they absolutely are.
Shared was a tenancy agreement that actually they redacted themselves some of the details.
They redacted everything but the guy's name.
Yeah.
They redacted his everything.
So it's this. I don't like to say this, but I think even the threat actor realized that you don't want to be giving that away just yet. Like that is such sensitive information.
I mean,
and you do get that occasionally.
You
Occasionally,
could get an absolute bottom feeder criminal who wants to commit some fraud. There's quite a lot of data belonging to an individual up there. Cool, I've got all this. I'm going to go do it on an individual
I just
level.
realized, they're just protecting their own, what they consider their own intellectual property.
Yeah,
we stole
absolutely.
it. We're not giving it away to you for free.
Yeah. You get names, and that's it. And that's pretty much what they did. They censored quite a lot.
Yeah. So it's probably worth, when Dan and I see breaches like this and we see names, and the easiest thing to do is do a Google search.
Verify.
Often they'll pop up in LinkedIn. You'll see their LinkedIn photo, and you can compare it to the passport or driver's license or whatever photo, and you go, yeah, guaranteed, that's it.
It'll
And
say where they work.
we are 99.9% certain that
It's all but confirmed.
Kairos
really.
has absolutely gotten to this company's network.
Yeah, but obviously, it is still alleged. We're not going to make a claim without complete.
Yeah,
certainty.
99.9.
It could be that what is in the sample is all they've got.
I mean, that's entirely possible. Now, they do claim to have more than 150 gigabytes of data.
Yes.
I did notice that.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And again, Kairos are quite a new player. In terms
Relatively
of
new. Yeah.
Well, not nowhere near as new as the
What do
gentleman.
we know about their methodology, their ransom note, their that kind of stuff?
So they first appeared, I believe, 13th of November 2024. They're active on Russian language hacking forums, as far as I'm aware.
That's been a good way, yeah.
And they are completely financially motivated. They explicitly state that they are not politically motivated and that they're only interested in money. And their ransom note is pretty standard. The publication of this data will ruin your business.
Yeah.
We will attack your partners and suppliers using info obtained from your network.
Yep.
It can lead to legal actions against you. It's completely, fear and pressure, which is how these guys work. There's nothing really from memory off the top of my head that stands out about them as a ransomware organization. I don't know.
Apart from the fact that they're a typical ransomware organization.
Pretty much, yeah. They are kind
I'm
of a
always
bog
interested
standard.
when these guys say we are purely financially motivated and there are no politics, because we do know that there is an overlap with some ransomware operators where they'll happily lease their services out to political actors or be told by political actors, hey, target this company country more than anything else.
Yeah.
But these guys seem entirely mercenary.
Yeah, Everything is very, very clear cut. The ransom note is obviously pretty, rinse and repeat, copy paste.
Yeah.
They always give 7 days to respond to demands from what I've observed.
Yeah.
But that's kind of it. I don't know if they do any encryption. I don't believe they do. I've not seen anything about encryption regarding Kairos.
And there is certainly a trend amongst especially newer ransomware operators where encryption feels like too much of a extra step.
Yeah.
It's all about stealing data, publishing data.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it takes longer.
Yep.
You leave more of a trace.
Yep.
Why not just get in, steal, get out? You know, I get it. But, you still see occasional encryption, but it's definitely not the main kind of thing that ransomware operators are doing these days.
Yeah.
So-
I mean, many people are. And I believe we'll talk about... no, I'm not hosting it. But anyway, we're going to talk about JLR soon.
We are.
And we know that we can guess that encryption probably happened with that one, right?
Well, let's talk about them now. Factory delays, which is something they announced at the beginning of the month when the cyber attack was announced, have been extended again.
Yeah.
So I think they were originally going till September 9th, and there was another date, and now it's September 24. But some media publications have said it could go as long as October, something we reported on earlier this month, and November. The Telegraph, I believe, said November.
Yeah.
However, JLR has come out and said that is not their position.
Yep.
So the way these delays are working is that staff are being told, go home, you're going to be paid regularly, we'll just bank your hours and you can make them up later on. But yeah, this seems to be kind of a repeat of the Marks and Spencer's incident where, the cyber attack absolutely bricked their operations and they weren't able to operate.
Yeah.
So again, JLR also said that no data had been stolen. There was no evidence that any data had been stolen.
Yeah.
Data has now been stolen. They've not disclosed what data or how many people have been impacted.
And look, and as we always say, they're probably working it out themselves.
Yeah, that is 100% correct. They've probably seen some evidence and gone, all right, let's unpack this.
Yeah.
But as we said, I believe in the last podcast or the podcast before, Scattered Lapsus Spider. No, Scattered Lapsus Hunters. Sorry.
Scattered Spider Lapsus Hunters.
Yeah.
Hunters Lapsus Scattered.
You get the idea.
Shiny.
You get the idea. It's the supergroup, now defunct supergroup, which we will touch on later.
Possibly defunct, but yes.
Possibly defunct, yes. They are apparently responsible for it. They taunted JLR on Telegram saying, "Where is my new car, Land Rover?" That was their words.
Yeah.
Now, to try and prevent the impact that this cyber attack has had, Minister of the Department of Business and Trade, Chris MacDonald, said he'd met with JLR to discuss...
So what country?
UK.
UK, okay.
Yeah,
cool.
UK. So Jaguar Land Rover, I should disclose that actually. Jaguar Land Rover, both British brands, owned by
Indian company, Tata. Motors,
but they are British brands, and these are all British factories that are being shut down.
Oh, gotcha.
That's where
cool.
the cars
I'm glad
are made.
I asked that. Yeah, cool.
That's where the cars are made.
Yep.
I've got the factory locations. Solihull, Wolverhampton, and Halewood on Merseyside. So
I love British place names.
Halewood on Merseyside is potentially the most British thing I've ever heard.
Yes. I want to go there next time in the UK.
Yeah. So Chris MacDonald, the Minister of the Department of Business and Trade, said that he had met with JLR to discuss their plans to resolve this issue and get production started again. Our cyber experts are supporting JLR to help them resolve this issue as quickly as possible. And it needs to be. There are 104,000 jobs that belong to JLR and their suppliers. So it is a massive, massive impact on the British manufacturing industry. So yeah, that's where we're at with that.
That one's wild
and ongoing.
And it's probably worth pointing out that we fell victim to a little bit of misreporting. We in a previous article said that a company called Certec.
Yes.
Was one of their suppliers. This was something that was widely reported.
Yeah.
And it looks like a lot of us got it wrong.
Yeah.
And they contacted us and said, hey, we're not a Jaguar supplier. So we retracted that. So anybody who read that and didn't see the retraction, just want to get that out there.
Certec is not a supplier for JLR.
Yep. They're doing just fine.
They're not impacted at all. So they're all good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we might go again to another break. And then we are going to finish up with some good, some bad news.
Cool.
All right. See you then. Welcome back to the Cyber Uncut podcast. My name is Daniel Croft, and I'm joined by
David Hollingworth.
There you go. There you go. All right. A story that I forgot to include in the last section. I'll let you take the lead on this. It's June related. Kind of.
Shai Hulud, the great worm of Arrakis. So we talked last week about a mess of JavaScript code packages, NPM packages, being compromised by a hacker that was inserting a crypto stealer into them.
Yep.
And that was like, these were 40-odd packages, billions of downloads each week. This guy was clearly going after money.
Yep.
Whoever's behind the Shai Hulud worm, and this is an actual worm. We don't see these a lot these days. Someone has gotten into hundreds this time, I think 140 at last count,
Whoa.
including some CrowdStrike JavaScript code packages, although they spotted it and deleted them and rotated their keys.
Yep.
They've been very, very careful about this. But this worm is an info and credential stealer. It's been injected into these code packages. If you download the code package to your own repository or your own system, and it does its thing, I'm not going into the technical details.
Yeah,
I'm not
sure.
a code person. But if it detects other code packages on your device, it will replicate itself into those code packages.
Okay.
So if they get shared again, boom. Like, this one's big. And what I like about it being called Shai Hulud, so it's called Shai Hulud because what this worm does is when it finds its data and interesting stuff, it publishes it to a public repository on GitHub called Shai Hulud.
Okay.
Shai Hulud is the great devourer. It eats everything in its path. It swallows. And it seems like that's exactly what this worm is designed to do.
So we do have a sci-fi nerd on the other end of
Oh,
this.
we have such a sci-fi nerd. When I saw this, I thought, this is the article I was born to write.
Speaking on that, what does Kul Wahad mean? That
Kul Wahad.
It's from the headline.
Yes, so I wrote, read out the headline.
Kul Wahad, Shai Hulud worm infects more than 100 NPM code packages.
Kul Wahad is what a Fremen, the desert people of the planet of Dune. Yes, I am a nerd. That is a statement of amazement.
Okay.
I am amazed. Kul Wahad.
Yeah, wow.
Or possibly, that's incredible. I agree. Kul Wahad.
Yeah, okay.
And I couldn't help myself but put that in there, even though I know it might have made the article a little bit less readable.
Nah, it's
but
brilliant.
I needed to get that in there. I needed to get a reference to the Bene Gesserit because, as I said, there's a lot of network defenders reciting the litany of fear right now.
Yeah.
Fear is a little death. I will not fear. Fear will, and all of that, because that's terrifying. Those self-replicating worms are like really old school cybersecurity. When was the last time you wrote about a worm as opposed to malware or anything else?
Don't think I actually have.
Yeah, right.
You know, I started end of 2022. I don't believe I have. I am yet to write about a worm. I think.
Yeah. But also, the name of it's funny, and I kind of like it. This is also because I'm playing a lot of the Dune Awakening game, and I keep rewatching David Villeneuve's Dune on repeat because it's my comfort film, which makes no damn sense.
I am still yet to watch Dune in any instance.
Movie night at my place.
Sure. Done. I tried to watch it on a plane once, and
It's not the way to watch. It's not. I'm distracting the podcast.
No. I'll get into this. So the way they did it was that there was a system. You logged onto their Wi-Fi, and you could watch it off your phone. And it did not work very well.
No.
Everyone on the plane was struggling with getting it to run.
Yeah.
I watched about the first 3 minutes of the first modern Dune film, and that's as far as I went. So, yeah, absolutely, I do need to watch it, and I would love to, and then I will be able to read that article much more clearly.
Yeah, I want to get back to how serious this is.
Yes.
So this is what Emil Landau from Cyber Arc Labs malware research team said about this, because it is a supply chain attack. Basically.
Yeah.
This attack methodology, which abuses legitimate tools, sites, and services, becoming increasingly common in supply chain attacks, aimed at poisoning development environments or stealing credentials for malicious purposes. Who was it? Charlie Erickson from Aikido, the cybersecurity firm which found it first, said the scale, scope, and impact of this attack is significant. When cybersecurity researchers say this is significant on all of those axes, I sit up and pay attention. Yeah.
Do we have a number of victims at all on this yet, or is I mean, it's kind of
All right,
hard
so
to say.
here's what I'll say. So it's so far infected 187 code packages. Just one of which, Tiny Color, is downloaded roughly 2 million times every week.
Okay.
All I'm going to say. That pretty much says all you need to know about a piece of malware which can replicate itself so fast as this one. As Erickson said, this cycle allows the malware to continuously infect every package a maintainer has access to. Each published package becomes a new distribution vector. As soon as someone installs it, the worm executes, replicates, and pushes itself further into the ecosystem.
So
once a single environment is compromised, the worm automates the spread by piggybacking on the maintainer's own publishing rights. Wait, this is meant to be the happy part of the
I was going to say, this is not
podcast.
the most positive part of our positive
let's
section.
lift. The positive part is I like Dune. Let's lift this up.
All right.
Take us to good places.
Roblox, of all places. So the eSafety, Roblox has agreed to introduce a bunch of new safety measures to make its in-game experience bring it in line with Australia's world-leading online safety codes and standards, as outlined by eSafety.
Yeah.
So I think.
eSafety is concerned that a lot of these environments, which are focused at entertaining children, are also a great environment if you're a pedophile.
Yes.
Kids are going to be here. You can easily pose as a child and be a wolf amongst the flock. And so eSafety has been working with Roblox to make sure that their environment is as safe as possible. And we talk about eSafety a lot. And we are neither of us are like completely on side with everything, or
No.
But I think this one's a good one.
And
Roblox is a bit of a wild west, and it is so. I don't know Roblox from a bar of soap. I'm way too old for that. But everybody I know who's a parent, I know their kids are Roblox players.
Well, I think, from my understanding, it's free as a base game. You can play it on a tablet. It has a ton of reach for a younger audience. And, I mean, look at it. Like, if you look at the image in the article, it's
cheery, it's happy, it's
cheery
open.
and colourful and customisable and things like that. So it doesn't surprise me at all that children are attracted to it, that are coming on and playing. Obviously, there's that.
But here's
reality.
what our eSafety Commissioner, Julie Inman Grant, said about this. I've recently met with senior Roblox executives in person, including their chief legal officer and chief safety officer, to outline our compliance concerns and what we as a regulator expect of them when it comes to tackling harms as serious as grooming, sexual extortion, and other forms of child sexual exploitation. I am pleased to see them come to the table with these new safety commitments, because Roblox has gone, we'll play along.
And
we'll do it,
And that's how it should go, right? That someone's gone, hey, you can make this better for your client base, which is largely children. And they go, okay. That's just how it should go. So, eSafety is going to be overlooking the rollout of these features closely. So they're still going to be holding, the whip ready to go and say, hey, you're not doing this fast enough, you're ignoring what we've said.
So Roblox is rolling out parental controls. They're going to switch off things like direct chat by default. Just making it harder for bad actors to get in amongst these kids and take advantage.
I mean, I can only relate it to my experience as a child. Like, my parents were very, very strict on me playing anything that had open chat for the exact same reasons it's being blocked here. I used to play things like Club Penguin.
I have no idea what that is.
You've never heard of? Oh wow, okay.
But also, I didn't grow up with my parent.
That's true.
Being worried about the games I was playing online because it didn't exist.
Okay, RuneScape you will have heard of.
I have, yes.
Yeah, and that I was not allowed to play because it had open chat, which is a bummer because everyone at school played RuneScape. But again, there's another argument for this though. So if you're a parent and you're worried for exactly this reason about your child going on an app like Roblox, because of the horrible, horrible people that could be on there, ready to be a predator to your child, there are now these new safeguards, meaning that they can be included in the fun of going on this game with their friends. You and I would both agree that online gaming is a fantastic way to spend time with your mates.
It is.
So
no lie.
This is only going to benefit.
No, I think it's a great move, and I'm glad Roblox. I could be wrong.
Is
playing along.
Anyway, speaking of eSafety, we'll do a quick little teaser.
Little teaser.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
You've got a special guest coming along.
I do. I might be having a chat. Well, I am going to be having a chat, as far as I understand. It's all locked in with Julian McGrant, our eSafety Commissioner, and we are going to be discussing the social media ban.
Yeah.
You and I have spoken about this a bunch of times on the podcast, and I think a lot of people have a lot of questions, and who better to answer them than our eSafety Commissioner?
It's one of those interesting things where I look at a lot of other outlets, and I think they're covering it in a lot more depth than we can. Whenever I look at a new story about this, I realize that it's within our remit, but if we focus too much on it, we're missing our main thing, which is cybercrime and cybersecurity. So I'm really glad you're going to have an hour in front of Im Grant with a microphone between you to have this conversation.
Yeah.
And she can walk you through it in her own words.
Yeah.
Because you can pitch all the questions that we have.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited about this one.
Yeah. Like you and I have a couple of gripes with the social media ban as it is and how it's developed over the years.
And also these are stances which have changed and evolved as we've grown to understood it.
Absolutely.
And we keep going on, it's good, it's bad. So I'm really interested for you to sit down and have the conversation.
And as we've spoken about in the last few weeks with the eSafety Commissioner, and as we have just then, her intentions are brilliant.
Yeah.
And so I want to clarify a couple of things. There are a couple of things I don't necessarily agree on, but she's going to be the perfect person to clarify those things. So I'm very, very excited to have a conversation. And we look forward to it.
I'm excited about it. Really, really excited.
Now, more good news, if you can interpret it as good news.
Kind of, sort of, a little,
So the Titan, the supergroup that is Scattered Lapsus Hunters.
The travelling Wilburys of cybercrime.
Absolutely.
I'm going to use that one.
That is pretty good.
That's pretty good, yeah.
They're apparently calling it quits.
Yeah. I've heard since then that maybe they haven't.
Yeah.
So, disclaimer. This group may not even be real.
Yeah.
It could be... So it's members of a ransomware group, Lapsus. It's members of a group designated by CrowdStrike as Scattered Spider, which also may not be real.
It could be just a collective.
It's a group and/or individual under the name Shiny Hunters, which apparently is between 1 and 20 individual people.
Yep.
Attribution is hard.
With Scattered Spider, I just want to clarify this. It sounds like we may have boogeymaned these guys into existence.
We've had this conversation with a cybersecurity colleague of ours.
Yeah, my friend from high school, Jay Banerjee.
Okay, cool. All right.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to name drop him. All right,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Right.
No, and it does sound like these guys could absolutely just be a bunch of individuals that, they've been attributed as Scattered Spider and they've gone,
hey, we're Scattered Spider.
yeah, sick, all right.
Yeah.
So, it's all kind of murky.
So anyway, you covered an article. God, when did they form? It feels like it was years ago, but it was only...
Oh, Scattered Spider.
Scattered...
Oh, Scattered Lapsus Hunters. Last month? The month before? Something like that? Yeah.
So this hacking supergroup, they form, they do these highline attacks. Jaguar, they want their Jaguars and Land Rovers.
Apparently, maybe Marks and Spencers and Co-op and stuff like that. That might have been them, Qantas, all of that.
Anyway, they've called it quits, or at least this segment of that group are calling it quits.
Yeah.
Or they're saying they're calling it quits because they're doing a false... I don't know.
Where was this...
They posted this on a Breach Forums URL, and it wasn't Breach Forums. You went to this URL, and it was just this farewell message.
Okay.
It was Breach Forums URL I don't recognize, but the fact they're using Breach Forums infrastructure to do it makes me think it's kind of legitimate.
It's very Shiny Hunters, isn't it?
Very Shiny Hunters, yeah. So anyway, as you know, this is them. As you know, the last weeks have been hectic. Whilst we were diverting you, the FBI, Mandiant, and a few others by paralyzing Jaguar factories superficially, hacking Google 4 times, blowing up Salesforce and CrowdStrike defenses, the final parts of our contingency plans were being activated. They think they're Bond villains.
Yeah.
And look, this farewell waffles on and on and on.
It's a page of small text. It's quite long.
Is, yeah. Will Caring the owners of
Gucci.
Balenciaga, Gucci,
Yep.
Alexander McQueen, Air France, American Airlines, British Airlines, and among many other critical infrastructure face a data breach. I'd wonder too if I was them, as they know some have yet to receive any demand for ransom or anything else.
That is really weird because if this is an agreement, it sounds like they're out of the picture on that negotiation, or they're not doing it. They're leaving it ambiguous. I don't know.
I just had a thought, like maybe they've been using these high-profile breaches as some kind of security. Don't come after us, and we won't publish.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Anywho, when did Balenciaga, Brioni, Alexander McQueen, or Kering first discover this breach, and how did they first discover it? Kering has yet to disclose that. How many customers are affected? How many have been notified?
Yeah.
Kering has yet to disclose that either. And it's just, oh, wow, you're really enjoying your moment in the spotlight, whoever wrote this.
I think the entire group has. They've been flexing about their rich lifestyles and stuff. I'm sure they're loving their month of fame.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But then they go on to talk about the fact that a whole mess of people have been arrested recently, linked to, like, I think at least 4 shiny hunters have been arrested now. We want to share a thought for the 8 people that have been raided or arrested in relation to these campaigns, Scattered Spider and or Shiny Hunters groups, since beginning of April 2024 and thereafter, especially to the 4 who are now in custody of France. We want to expand our regrets to their relatives and apologise for their sacrifice. Any state needs its scapegoat.
Yeah.
Well, okay, they're hanging their friends out to dry. Okay. Those carefully selected targets are the last collateral victims of our war on power and the use of our skills to humiliate those who have humiliated, predate those who have predated. Yeah, okay, you're good guys. Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Excellent. We have ensure. Okay, we know how we talk about Scattered Spider are probably English speakers and this is, not. Or it could be really good fieldcraft.
Sure.
We have ensured that the investigations targeted them will progressively fall apart and that their mild vanity peccati, which is an Italian term I think about hubris or something, will not inflict on them long-term consequences. In other words, we've let them arrest you, but they don't have enough evidence to go that far. We've just caused you some mild concern about being arrested. It's okay. You're not going to go to jail. Which is great. I'd love for my friends to do that to me. Peccati is the Italian word for sins.
Do we know, the old founder of Breach Forums, Brian Fitzpatrick, a.k.a. Pon Purin.
Pon Purin,
Was he ever in Shiny Hunters, do we know, or anything like that? Because the irony there is that he was just sentenced and is now in jail.
He is.
And will be for 3 years.
3 years seems really small.
It does seem really small. He was, I think, look, he was, oh no, not 3 years. He was bailed out after 17 days. His parents bailed him out.
That's smaller.
It's
Okay, well, that got depressing fast.
But anyway, if he had
No, I think you're right. I think that's really interesting.
If he had any connection to Shiny Hunters, I could be completely wrong on that.
Yeah.
That argument of like, don't worry, they don't have the evidence on you. It's kind of
Yeah.
legit because they had the evidence on him.
This I love, and please look up this word when I read it, because I did look it up.
I will need some spelling.
We've learnt this from the best. This fine funambulist equilibrium.
Funambulist?
Fun. F-U-N ambulist. So few are capable of reaching. Those techniques are taught every day at Langley.
It's a word. A tightrope walker. That's
Yeah.
It's a
But
brilliant
also,
word.
these techniques are taught every day at Langley, CIA headquarters.
Yeah.
The note said this is the last lesson, but then goes on to say Lapsus, Trihash, Urosh, Kurosh, Clown, Intel Broker, Scattered Spider, Yukari, and among many others, they're all going dark. If you worry about us, don't. The most stupid, Urosh, Intel, will enjoy our. I think that's interesting because it says like Urosh and Intel might be one of them, or it could be an English issue.
Yep.
We'll enjoy our golden parachutes with the millions the group has accumulated. I like it. A couple of idiots will spend money.
Yeah.
Others will keep on studying and improving systems you use in your daily life. Which makes me think some of these people, if we can trust this, we cannot.
Yeah.
But they're trying to allude to the fact that they're developers as well on legitimate systems. And we'll do this in silence. Others, finally, will just go gentle into that good night.
Wow. Beautiful.
It's amazing.
This line here, others will keep studying and improving systems used in your daily
lives.
Is that maybe even a comment to say, the band's broken up, but hey, some of these individual guys are going to keep going out and doing what we did?
Oh, that's interesting because hackers commonly consider themselves good guys.
Yeah.
With every hack they do, they're improving the network they hack.
That's what I was thinking, that they always use that language of, we're pen testers.
Oh, yeah.
We're improving it by making it more secure, by pointing out its flaws, right?
But look, I'm going to quote my own end of the article. A poetic end to a short-lived hacking supergroup or yet another smokescreen to obscure their operations. Watch this space.
Yeah.
I don't know. I legitimately...
Find out next time.
I got nothing on this episode of Scattered Lapsus Shiny Hunters.
Yeah.
Those guys. Spider.
So, as you said, watch this space. This is quite
like
an
being
interesting
part
one.
of a soap opera.
It really is.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
these guys do absolutely paint it that way with their language, as you've just seen.
Yeah.
These aren't the first guys to do that kind of
No,
emotive, poetic language.
Yeah.
So it is very, very dramatic and very, very like a soap opera.
Well,
like
they
you
consider
said.
themselves the heroes in their own story.
They do, and they speak valiantly, and they're criminals. They're dodgy criminals.
Yeah.
Don't listen to them.
But they might be done. They might not. That could be good news, or it isn't.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Speaking of done, though,
I think we are.
I think we are. So
I'm closing my laptop.
thank you very. Thanks very much for listening. I'm Daniel. This is David, and we will be back. If you would like to check out the Cyber Daily website where we talk about all this news, absolutely head to cyberdaily.au. We are both also on LinkedIn.
We also have a
AI awards coming up.
and newsletter.
A newsletter, yes. Sign up on the site, and you will get all of this cyber goodness sent straight to your inbox.
And cyber badness as well.
And cyber badness. Most of it's badness, let's be honest. Wow.
Good one.
Anyway, thanks very much. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys.